Hi there, and welcome to my next video on my YouTube channel, Unapologetic with Lorelei. It's a pretty fresh, cold, and windy morning. It's a typical 1st of January 2026, actually, and well, it's pretty fresh, but I still see a few people around here in the heathland who are, walking their dogs or just getting a fresh nose after all these, uh, you know, hectic sometimes Christmases and New Year's days. But that's not the topic of my of today. Actually, what I wanted to talk with you about, and it's certainly not meant as a New Year's resolution. But I did want to talk with you about how life can change, how things can change for you when you stop proving yourself. And I don't really mean just materialistic things or physical things around you, but it's also things that can really change deep down into your nerve system, your soulful feeling. It can really make a difference. I can speak from experience actually, and that's what I do in all my videos. I speak from experience, from insights, from personal insights, and of course you don't have to agree with it, but sometimes yeah, I like it when people also leave their comments in below the video and show new insights perhaps even. But before I'm going to talk more on the topic of what can change for you, much for the better if you stop proving yourself, I'm going to flip my screen and show you around here on this cold and windy morning and the nature where I am today. And it's still really beautiful. One little tip maybe, perhaps you would like to see it one day on your TV screen, because I know people are also watching it on mobile, but sometimes the areas and the pieces of nature that I'm showing are really nice to watch on TV as well. But enough said about that. I'm going to continue on my topic for today, and about how life can change for you when you stop proving yourself. So I'm going to see you on the other side of the screen. Right, and as I said, here I am. I flipped my screen here and showing you around the piece of nature where I am at the moment. It's a combination of heathland and forest, and pretty cold and windy, but it's still very nice. It's just nice to get a fresh nose, get a nose of fresh air. It's really wonderful. And well, I'm going to talk more, as I said, with you on the topic of who you become when you stop proving yourself. And as I said, I have quite some experience with that. Not that I'm an expert or a guru or anything like that, but I have had my fair share of those pitfalls in life actually. And I realized now that the moment you stop proving yourself, something really important shifts. And perhaps you are in a situation like that, or you feel something's off and you don't know what it is, and perhaps this might resonate to you. And because for me myself, I can say that for a pretty long time, uh, I feel proving myself started to become normal. It felt normal. It goes into your system and it becomes a normal part of your daily life, and it deters how you show up, and you do your best in all kinds of things that you do. And you explain your choices to people, and you demonstrate in many cases your responsibilities. And um, and actually what you are doing is you're carrying so much more than your fair share. It's really not necessary, but you don't realize it at the time. It just slipped in, it sneaked into your life, and due to all kinds of reasons. We all have our reasons why we became like this, why we are sometimes stressful because of it. And and I think we're doing these things many times not because you want praise, but because you want to be seen as a capable, as a reliable, and as enough, as a good person. And it's all done with that. But sometimes at that point in life, that drive kind of softens, its face, because you start to feel a little bit like it's been enough now, actually. And I'm not sure if it's got to do with age or with phases in your life, but I am now 63 years of age, and I begin to feel like, you know, I'm going to stop needing to convince people. I have stopped it already for quite some time ago, but now I became so much more sharper on it. And I stopped explaining my value to people, because people just have a tendency of judging you for what they see you do, but they have no idea why you're doing what you're doing, and how you came to it, and why you're doing it, and how long you keep on doing it for certain reasons. And so I've stopped explaining people, because 9 times out of 10 it's more, yeah, I'm sorry to say, but it's pretty nosiness of people, just so they can form their opinion, and you know what you're doing, and they just keep track. And yeah, I'm not going to go into it what more, but anyhow, and I stopped explaining my values as well, because it's the same as sometimes people ask how you're doing. They're not really asking how you're doing. So I really stopped going deeper into it, and explaining things, and also in other things, whether it's private or it's work or business. I stopped really explaining my value. They just have to see for what it is, and experience it. And if they don't think it's worth to investigate or to show interest, then that's just fine by me. I stopped performing in that respect, and certainly for competence, I really stopped doing that, because I know my value, and I know my worth. And yeah, I don't know if you recognize any of this, if it relates, or if it relates to anybody in your surroundings that you know of, who might be helpful, who might be helped with hearing these things. Because it's not that I'm giving advice here, but it's just knowing that other people are going through this as well. And even though you know it, now you hear it firsthand from me standing here on the heathland, and talking to you, because I think it can be really helpful sometimes, because things can get very lonely after a while, and you certainly not find the right people to talk with, or people who understand you. And well, I'm walking here, and it looks, it's pretty abandoned. There's a few people walking around here, but it doesn't feel lonely. It's magnificent here. Actually, it's so beautiful. I hope you enjoy the scenery, the nature that I'm showing you here. You can see the differences in the sky. It started this morning very gray, but I see some blue sky trying to come through here. Yeah, I love nature, but and it also includes the sky for me. I'm always fascinated with the sky. But talking more on the topic, there's something I would like to share as well, because when you stop doing certain things, it's not just stopping. It's also that you have to replace it with something much differently, and it does automatically. It replaces something much more quieter, and what it actually becomes is much more self-trust. And it doesn't mean you've been insecure from all these years, but self-trust can only grow, and it's not to be arrogant or anything like that, but what else is there than being feeling very, very good inside yourself, and having a peaceful, calm feeling inside. And as I said before, when I started to talk about the title of how you who you can become when you stop proving yourself, because it gets, all these years also they hacked into your nerve system. Your nerve system remembers certain scenarios or certain things or certain words from other people, and or other scenes or situations, and it's that has to leave your nerve system for you to be able to become nice, feeling of nice and calm, and peaceful inside. And I guess isn't that what we all really want? Well, I certainly do, because I'm not I'm not saying I'm at the end of my years. I hope not. But 63, you start to sorry, you start to think a little bit more and different about things. Sorry, my throat is. I think it must be the cold wind that's coming through my throat. But anyhow, you can also really ease yourself, and say, well, when you stop proving yourself, that doesn't mean you became passive, or anything like that. But it's just that you become more, yeah, more selective. And selective for me also meant sometimes minimalizing things. And I don't mean, I still like to have a choice of shoes, or I like to have nice furniture, or something like that. But minimalistic in a way, like, don't overdo it. Don't fall for the whole marketing trap of life all around you, because it's sometimes hard to escape from. But if you're really, really aware, then yeah, you can be aware of it, and you can feel much more at ease, because the load becomes so much less. Because when I believe, and that's what my experience is once again, that when you choose where to invest your energy into, then you have to speak less. You don't have to talk so much anymore. And I'm talking here, standing here talking to you on this video, but I'm not a small talk kind of person. And so I don't want to be heavy all the time, but small talk, I'm not very good at it, and it's so useless for me. It drains my energy, actually. And so if you speak less but with more clarity, then you can also stop rushing to justify all your decisions. And it's a bit much, maybe, but if you think about it, you can always rewind the video and listen to it again, to what I'm actually saying, because I think it is an important thing. And yeah, I believe you don't even need to announce your boundaries. That's another thing, People say, yeah, you have your boundaries, and I agree, you have to have your boundaries, but you don't always have to share them. People will see them automatically, and then yeah, they may be surprised or they feel odd or anything or something like that. But it feels good for you because explaining your boundaries, then you're all open again for all kinds of talks again and responses and opinions and all the rest of it. So yeah, I'm all for it of not to announce your boundaries, but you just live them. And it can feel a little bit strange at first. I agree. But you might wonder for yourself if you've lost ambition or if you lost hope or if you lost, you know, um, the curiosity for life or your drive or your motivation. But it's not really true. It's not none of that at all. Actually, it's that what you've actually lost is the need for external validation. And it doesn't mean you've always been an insecure person who needs to um, be validated all the time by other people. But still, let me tell you, it sneaks in. I consider myself a pretty strong person, but it sneaked in. It did sneak in, and I'm bearing consequences of that now. And I've done my best over the years of lately of getting this out of my system, out of my nerve system, for most of it. And this need for extra validation, it's not. And then you have to have that in your self-talk as well, because sometimes you think you need external, but it's internal validation. And so you become a little bit your own enemy here, but also you can become your own support. And what you gain with this kind of self-talk, positive self-talk, not just positive, but you have to have some good conversations with yourself, because you gain steadiness within yourself. And you can start to begin or to go back to move through life without constantly checking how you're perceived, or even how you perceive sometimes things, because that can also be confusing. But most of it, how you're being perceived, you don't have to feel that you're kind of auditioning in sometimes in certain places, in certain moments or at work or with a new relationship with new friends or anything like that. And which is always exciting, of course, if you have a new kind of relationship or a new person coming into your life. But just remember that you're no longer auditioning, but you're just inhabiting. So by saying all of this, if you notice that you care less about proving anything lately, um, I can say it's just a pause before judging that change. And it's a welcome the choice. It's just bridging two habits, and it takes time, but your nerve system will be very glad for it if you accomplish it. And it's not withdrawal; it's just a new kind of confidence settling in. And as I said, it's my experience, my thoughts on the whole thing. And whilst I was saying this, I told you already it's the 1st of January. Of course, I wish you all the best for the next year and all the years to come. But I hope my words resonated here somewhere along the line. And yeah, take care of yourself. Take very good care of yourself. And I hope to see you in my next video. You can always subscribe to my channel. I'm posting daily topics on things we all seem to be going through at some point in our lives. So you can subscribe to my channel, or give a thumbs up, or even leave a comment, so I know where you're coming from, and I will certainly read it. So once again, take care of yourself. Take very good care of yourself, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.